Hey guys, this is RolloutReviews with RolloutReviews, bringing you another Bionicle review. This time it is set number 70788, Kopaka, Master of Ice. This set contains 97 pieces, including the Skull Spider and Golden Mask, and retails for about $20 US. Kopaka takes the most inspiration from his original Toa Mata and Toa Nuva incarnations, but it can be said that he's much more heavily armored than he has been in the past. I suppose now Kopaka plays much more of a sentinel role among the Toa. Kopaka is now much larger and much more complex. We'll take an in-depth look at his construction, starting from the bottom up. Kopaka's shins are bulky, but I generally like their design, especially from the front and the back. He has the new armor piece here, which looks very nice, molded in white. And if we take a look at him from the side, things do get a bit gappy, but I really do like the exposed, bright, translucent blue CCBS piece. From the back, of course, he does have a little bit of extra armor, which is nice to see. What isn't so nice to see are these stickers applied to his thigh armor. Fortunately enough, they are Lego stickers. They are great quality, stick very well, and honestly, I do really like the printed design on them. I don't dislike these because they are stickers. I very much dislike these because they are pointless. Completely pointless. There is another set in this wave, Onua, that has stickers, but his make sense, and I'll explain that in his review. None of the other Toa have any sort of printing outside of their chest. But Kopaka, and honestly, it doesn't add a whole lot to his design. In all likelihood, I'll be removing these after the review. The armor part it's printed onto is new in this white color, which is very nice. He does have some friction extenders in his hips, and unfortunately there is no armor towards the back here, but that would hinder articulation. Speaking of which, the armor on the back of his shins does hinder knee movement just a little bit, but not too terribly much. Towards the front, he uses the Brain Attack armor piece instead of the standard Hero Factory 2.0 version. It's molded in silver, which might look a little bit out of place. Maybe it would have looked better in white, but honestly, I don't think it looks too bad. His chest piece towards the top is very cool looking. This is easily the most coherent printed design out of the 6 Toa, and I really like the design. Underneath, the frame piece actually has the ball joints on either side utilized by the shoulder armor, making Kopaka feel maybe a little bit more complete than some of the other Toa. Towards the back, he does have a little bit of extra armor, but to get it there, this ends up looking a little bit gappy. Once again, Kopaka's arms are heavily armored, especially towards the top here with these large shoulder pauldrons. They are on a couple of ball joints and will get out of the way in just about any pose you want to put his arms into. He has more of the new armor piece towards the top here, and towards the bottom he has more of the light translucent blue. Interestingly enough, it extends all the way to his hand, which might look a little bit out of place in a lineup with the rest of the Toa, seeing as all of the others have solidly colored fists. As per usual, Kopaka wields a couple of armaments, the first of which this time around being a spear, and the second being a massive shield. Now, of course, his shield is the same parts as Tahu's swords. Honestly, I feel this is a little bit lazy, but despite its size and shape, it really is growing on me. It's attached to his hand via a pin axle and has a little bit of give because of that. Unfortunately, it attaches this way. A couple of Bionicle sets attach shields like this, and plenty of Hero Factory sets did it. I hate it. No matter how you put it, this hand is going to look awkward in a defending pose. I would have much preferred if they somehow mounted it to his forearm instead. His spear uses the tip of a Gurok staff towards the top, which doesn't look half bad. Towards the bottom, it also has this nice icy effect. It looks very cool, but maybe seems a little bit tacked on and superfluous. Of course, his spear is two parts, connected via his hand. Towards the bottom, he has this added connector piece, which is seemingly completely pointless. It doesn't play any part as far as this set goes, aside from aesthetics, and doesn't seem to have any role in his combination with the protector of ice. It's only there for decoration, and if nothing else, it's an interesting addition. Kopaka wears the Mask of Ice, which allows him his elemental abilities. If nothing else, out of the 6 new Toa masks, this is the most true to the original source material. You also get a version of this mask in gold, which, as I've said before, is a great convenience. Back in 2002, to get the gold versions of the masks, you had to hunt them down in blind box mask packs. This makes things that much easier. Kopaka's underlying head is more or less the same as all of the others, in his case featuring some light blue light piping. The eye stalk is attached rather loosely, but that comes into play with the upcoming gimmick. On the inside of his mask, he has a couple of little nubs that will slide into the holes on either side of his head, just like that. It attaches fairly securely, and I don't think will fall off unless you bump it wrong. If we turn to the back, by pressing down on his eye stalk, it'll launch the mask. Now, this isn't a very practical gimmick, but is definitely a lot of fun. Here is Kopaka with his standard white mask, and here is Kopaka with his golden mask. Of course, each of the new Toa have gear functions that also incorporate shoulder articulation, which is a great concept. If we turn to the back here, we can see a bright yellow gear that signifies this is where you activate the gimmick. By turning this left and right, it'll swing his arm up and down. This is such a fun feature that is great to see back on Bionicle sets. You'll notice that if I bring his arm up like this, it doesn't come back down. Also, if I move his arm around on that ball joint, the gears don't interfere. This is accomplished using some clever engineering involving some extra gears that add some extra friction. You'll also notice that this arm here is locked into place, and when we activate the function, this arm does not move. One other interesting thing worth noting is that Kopaka internally has this extra little half pin that doesn't do anything. Nothing attaches to it. Once again, this is another piece on Kopaka that is seemingly pointless. Just like all of the others, Kopaka features dual weapon functionality. His is very easy. All you do is split apart his shield into a couple of skis. From there, these will attach to his feet so that he can slide down icy slopes. This is very, very simple, but in the end, I suppose it looks pretty cool and adds just one more play feature to the set. Almost each and every one of the new sets comes with a skull spider. Kopaka includes a silver variant, which isn't too much different from any of the others. Of course, it has 4 legs on these little joints here, and if we turn it to the back, we can see it acts very similarly to a mask. If we pop off Kopaka's mask here and replace it with the skull spider, he is then left under its control. This, of course, is just as simple to pop off, unless, of course, we were to wrap the legs around the back, locking that feature in place, and making it much more difficult for the other heroes to save their ally. Kopaka has always been my favorite Toa. I've said that before, and I'll probably say that again. This is a great set for all of the same reasons Tahu is a great set, and I won't play a broken record. What I will say, however, is that I think my love for Kopaka, I think the fact that I think this guy looks so cool, makes the fact that I hate his stickers so much sting even more. That said, it's a fixable problem. I can just remove them, and if you don't like the stickers, you have the option not to even apply them in the first place. But it definitely makes it harder for me to go crazy over recommending this guy in comparison to a lot of the other TOA who do not have sticker sheets. So that is about it, guys, and this is IX Roll It IX signing off.